Hey bombshells, I'm Tara Jones from Your Pretty Pennies with Tara Jones, and I'm so excited to be your guest expert for today. Thank you so much, Kashiver, for reaching out to me and allowing me to kind of join your tribe for a minute and share my financial wisdom and my experience and a little bit more about me, and also allowing me to help your group slay their financial goals. That's going to be my topic for tonight. So again, I'm Tara. I'm a financial success coach and also a lifestyle designer. I specialize in transforming finances, financial lives, and helping people attain financial freedom so they can create and afford the lifestyle that they desire. I do this through my signature online academy, which is the Financially Free Academy, and also virtual intensives. If you want to learn more about that or get to know me, send me a message, continue our relationship, head on over to yourprettypennies.com. So tonight, we are going to be talking about how to slay your financial goals. I hope you got your notes ready, your worksheet ready, your pen, something to drink, because it's going to be good. So as a fellow business owner and entrepreneur, I know that we thrive on setting and achieving business goals, profit goals, and all things like that, setting goals everywhere, but we neglect our personal finances and neglect setting personal finance goals. And this is where I come in. I want to encourage you to separate, number one, your business and personal finances in general, but also set goals, separate the goals that you have for each. Right? So if you haven't already, you're going to reach a point to where your business is going to start bringing in the income and you can start paying yourself a check out of your business income, right? And when you do that, you should be using the amount of money, the income that you receive from your business that you pay yourself to elevate and create the lifestyle that you desire. Right? It's not all about just throwing money back into your business. It's all about feeding you, buying what's important to you, creating a lifestyle that you want outside of your business. So let's jump right in. I have a few tips on what you need to do on a monthly basis for you to start creating, for you to set goals and then start slaying them. Let me pull up my notes here. I should have grabbed some water. Okay, so why should you set financial goals? Well, let's just talk about goals for a second. Top level achievers in all fields, business, personal, finance, set goals. And you need a target to hit every month, every quarter, every year. And if you're just haphazardly wandering through life, not setting financial goals, you have nothing to strive for, and therefore you won't attain anything. You won't achieve anything. You won't accomplish anything because there was nothing set for you to do, right? So setting financial goals give you a long-term vision for your money and short-term motivation for you to design your desired lifestyle. Financial success is attainable and can be achieved only by setting financial goals that you are passionate about and committed to, and then executing those goals. So how many goals should you set per year? You should set two. One short-term goal and one long-term goal. Now, what I consider a short-term goal is a goal that can be accomplished within 6 months, and then a long-term goal is a goal that should be accomplished in 12 months. I usually don't tell people to set long-term goals more than 12 months because things change within a year. So although in 5 years you may want to buy a home, for all you know, things can change within the next couple of years to where you're able to afford a home in 2 versus 5. So that's why I say keep your long-term goals at 12 months and not like long-term goals 5 years from now or 10 years from now. Life changes a lot within that time. And do not set more than 2 financial goals within a 12-month period, because you are likely to set goals in other areas of your life, like your business, like your children, like fitness goals, different things like that. Setting too many goals for yourself within 1 year causes overwhelm, and then eventually you'll disconnect from them. So keep your financial goals to 2, one short term, one long term. Break down your hefty financial goals into yearly goals. So for example, let's say if you're paying off student loan debt, which is, I did the same thing. I paid off $70,000 in student loan debt. I broke it down into increments to where I can tackle one increment per year. So let's say if it's $40,000 you have to pay off. You can break that down to where you pay off $15,000 a year, or $10,000 a year for 4 years, or $20,000 a year for 2 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can break down that $40,000 into smaller amounts of student loan payment to where you just focus on that segmented, that increment. So instead of focusing on $40,000, you'll focus on $10,000 that year, or you'll focus on $15,000 or $20,000 that year. So how to set financial goals? Using the SMART method. And SMART stands for specific, measurable, actionable sub-goals, realistic, and time sensitive. Let's break this down a little bit further. Example, I'm going to use examples in order to like break this down so you can really understand what I'm saying. And if I'm going too fast, do not be alarmed. I have something at the end of this video that will help you encapsulate all of this. So it's a really cool thing that I created that helps you encapsulate all of this. And also you can have this on replay, so you can start, stop, rewatch it. I know Kashira will have it on replay in your group for a long time. So example number 1 on how to set financial goals using a SMART financial goal setting method. I will pay $10,000 towards my Sallie Mae student loan during the next 12 months. Let's say if that was your financial goal. Sub goal number 1 could be, I will pay an extra $834 a month for the next 12 months on my student loans. Now you see, that's an actionable sub goal that you've broken down how much you're going to pay each month in order to get to the $10,000 a year, right? So that's one thing. One thing is to break out the increment and say, okay, I'm going to focus on $10,000 worth of my student loan debt this year. But now it's like, all right, let me break that down even further. How much do I need to pay a month in order to tackle that yearly goal? Sub goal number 2 could be, I work overtime and earn an extra $500 a month. Okay, so let's say if you want to work more in your 9-to-5 to earn extra $500, maybe you can create another passive income product that generates another $500. Maybe you could start doing vendor events in your city to where you're selling your book or your planner or whatever it is that you created. Maybe you can create more campaigns per month to where you launch your product more often in order to generate more income in your business to pay yourself for your student loan payment. See what I'm saying? You break down your main goal, that, you know, your main financial goal, into sub goals in order to get you to that target. Sub goal number 3, I will temporarily cancel my gym membership, my cable bill, and other luxury items that you don't need to live off of, to free up $350 in my budget, right? So the reason why I said that is because you need an extra $834 a month. We already declared that. And so how can you get the $834 a month? Well, in this example, I'm going to earn an extra $500 a month, generating some type of extra income. And then I'm going to free up $350 in my budget. So that makes $850 I have a month extra in order to pay off my student loan debt. Does that make sense? Let me know in the comments if that makes sense. And so going back to the working example that we're talking about, I will pay $10,000 towards my Sallie Mae student loan during the next 12 months is super specific. It tells you exactly what you're doing, time sensitive. You're giving yourself 12 months, is measurable. You know which account you're gonna, you know that it's gonna be $10,000 to the Sallie Mae student loan. You can go in, you can measure it, you're putting a number. You're not just saying, oh, I'm paying off some of my student loans this year. No, I'm paying off $10,000 this year. Not just any amount of number. I'm not just doing any amount. I'm not just shooting in the air and just missing my target. $10,000. I can measure it, I can see it when I'm getting close. If I don't make $850 a month, I can see that I'm off target and I can course correct. This is key to attaining financial goals. Example number 2, let's do a savings goal. So that was like a debt repayment goal, which is always good to have because you want to rid your life of debt so you can use your income to afford and create the lifestyle that you desire, and not to be paying off Sally Mae and credit card loans all your life, or credit card debt all your life. No, that's not what we're doing. So let's focus on another example, a savings goal. So let's say if your savings goal is, I will save $500 in my emergency fund savings account over the next 12 months. Super specific, it's measurable, $5,000, you can measure it. Actionable sub goals, we're going to go over that. Realistic, so we broke it down in the sub goals to make it realistic. And time sensitive, you got 12 months to put $5 grand in your savings account and leave it there. So let's go over some examples of sub goals that you can use for your savings goal. So sub goal number 1 could be, I will save $417 per month for the next 12 months. Okay, if you save $417 a month for 12 months, you will definitely exceed $5,000 in your account by the end of 12 months. That's great. Sub goal number 2, I will set up an automatic payment transfer. Actionable. You hear that? I will set up an automatic payment transfer of $417 from my checking account to my savings account on the 12th of each month, right? Now, let's take it a step back. Using an automatic transfer means that saving $417 is very doable and realistic for you, right? If you do not have a steady stream of income to where you can automatically put payments on autopilot, you should not be doing that. You should be doing it manually at whatever time of the month it works for you. So some people, they won't have the full $417 at any one time, so they might have to break it up, and every week they put $100 in, or $105 in, $103 in. And some, at the beginning of their month, they have the $417 out of their first check and they're immediately putting it in savings. You know, so make it work for you. Sub goal number 3 can be, I temporarily cancel my cable bill and I weekly meal prep, so I don't eat out at night, I don't eat out at lunch, and I save $417 in my budget every month. That's perfect. So if you get my drift, one thing I always tell my clients is that not only should you always work to make more money and try to, you know, generate more income so you can achieve your financial goals faster, but also take a look at your budget and see, is there anything that you can cut out, anything that you can get rid of temporarily? It won't be forever, because remember, we are all about creating the lifestyle that we desire. So it's not about, you know, restriction and hindrance, this lifestyle. It's about freedom, right? We want to be free of the debt, free of the things that's holding our money from us, and so that way we can create the lifestyle we desire later. So temporarily cut out anything that you do not need right now, so later you can live like you want to live. Here's another tip. If your goal is to pay off debt this year, or you know, this year going into next year, your monthly expenses have to be lower than your income. So let's say, for example, if you bring in $5,000 a month, but you spend $5,500 a month, you are in the negative. You have no money to help achieve, or help achieve a financial goal. So you have to make sure when you create your monthly budget, and I have my financial planner here, which is the offer that I'm giving at the end, so stay tuned. If you create your monthly budget, and I'm going to show you a zero-based budget that you should be doing, that's what it looks like. A zero-based budget that at the end, if your income minus your expenses is a negative number, you are spending way too much. You are living above your means, and it's not acceptable. And it's very easy to do because I've been there. Building my business, you can hear all about my life story at Your Pretty Pennies. We ain't gonna make this about me tonight, but building a business, paying off debt, being a single parent, being in college full-time, all of my story, the things that I went through, it's very easy to get consumed with the day-to-day stuff that you don't realize how much you're spending. You don't take the time to intentionally use your money for what you want to use it for. And you will end up being in the negative. You will start overdrafting accounts. You will start having to rob Peter to pay Paul, because you're being unintentional. You're not creating a budget. You're not creating a plan for your money every month. And therefore, you're over your expenses. So if you plan on achieving any type of personal finance goal in any type of area in your life, you need to make sure that your income is higher than your expenses. Also, if you do not know what financial goal you should be working on first, and you do not have at least $2,000 in the bank saved just for financial emergencies, that should be your first financial goal. So I do charge for my virtual intensives, but that right there was free. That was free game. Save money first before you do anything else. Before you upgrade your car, before you pay off debt, before you get your Comcast bill paid off, anything. Save $2,000 first for future financial emergencies. And let me tell you, it's going to happen. Your car is going to have wear and tear. There's going to be something where you need money in the future. Why not prepare for it right now? Let's just get that clear. So, free game, $2,000, first financial goal. That should be your short-term goal. All right? Write it down on your list. Write it down. Your first financial goal is to save $2,000 for personal reasons, not for business. So let's talk about that too. I'm going off on a tangent, but we're going to talk about that too. When you are a business owner and a business builder and an entrepreneur, you have to have a dividing line between your business and your personal. And you have to make up in your mind that just because I have $2,000 in my personal account does not mean it is available for my business. It is not. Instead, you need to tell yourself, wow, I do not have any more money to invest in my business the next couple of months. How can I create more income, more movement in my business finances in order to invest in the next latest and greatest thing? So if you want to launch a program and you need to pay $50 for the platform in order to launch your program, your online, academy, right? And you're like, oh, I have some money in savings in my personal, and I don't really have anything. I don't have the money in my business checking. You need to tell yourself, my personal is off limits. What can I do in my business to generate income to afford myself to invest in that online platform? Again, free game. So, another question I always get is, how do I keep myself on track? How do I keep myself on track those 12 months for that financial goal? There's five tips, I believe 3 to 5 tips that I have for you. Number 1, write down your goals each month and post them in plain sight. I'm talking about write it across the top of your monthly budget, write it on your bathroom mirror, post it on a sticky note on the lamp on your bedside table, post it in your home office. If you work a 9 to 5, post it on your computer screen on a sticky note, tape it to the bottom of your computer screen that you look at all day. You post it everywhere. So whenever you go somewhere, whenever you're about to go spend money, whenever you're about to go to the mall and spend recklessly, when your girls call you and say, hey, do you want to hang out tonight? You're thinking about your financial goals. You're going to say, okay, is this in the plan for me to achieve my financial goals in the next 12 months? If it's not, the answer should be no. But oftentimes, you just write down your financial goal once in a notebook, and it's underneath a pile of junk in your bedroom or in your home office or, on the coffee table, and you don't look at it ever again, and you expect yourself to be connected to it. You have to stay connected to your financial goals for 12 months in order to achieve that goal. And that goes for any business or any personal or any financial goal. If you want to stay connected to it, if you want to see that thing through, you have to remain connected to it. And in this world where we're so distracted with social media and friends and family and things going on and political issues and, natural disasters, everything is like, you know, just competing for our time, our energy, our attention. You have to have places in your life to where you can go and focus and be centered. And so it's almost like a command station in your house to say, what am I supposed to be focusing on no matter what tries to distract me? Okay, that business goal is what I'm working on for the next 3 months. All right, that financial goal is what I'm working on. Okay, this fitness goal is what I'm working on. So whenever you get knocked off, whenever there's a storm that happens, whenever there's a major political issue that happens, you still every day is still focused. Focused on that goal that you've set for yourself, right? Number 2, create and use a monthly budget. So again, my financial planner has the monthly budget. This is the planner that I use, and this is a financial planner that I created, the Ultimate Financial Planner. And I created this when I was getting out of debt and when I was creating the lifestyle that I desire. All these templates, it didn't look this pretty. Literally, it was all in a notebook, and I just kind of like started making lines and doing graphs and charts and different things like that. And finally, one day when I showed my homegirl, last year in December 2016, she was like, you need to make that into like a product. Like, this would be awesome. So I contacted my graphic designer and just gave her the templates that I've been using for years, and literally she created this book. And I'll go over it and go through it a little bit later. But yeah, create and use a monthly budget. So what a monthly budget is, it is a plan for your money that you're going to execute each month. So it allows you to start getting into the habit of breaking your income and your goals for that, and your goals for your income on a month-to-month basis. That is like the key to winning with money, is to manage it on a monthly basis, right? When you look at your salary a year, that's not tangible. To see that you make $60,000 is very big and broad. But when you say, okay, I make $4,500 a month, what am I going to do with $4,500 this month? We're not worried about next month yet. We know we got the major goal of paying off student loans, right? Or saving $5,000, or upgrading your car and you want to save $10,000, or saving for a down payment on your new home. We know that's the big goal, but we need to be focused every month on the monthly goal. And that's what a budget is. It's allowing you to hone in on how to use this month's income to pay for this month's expenses, and then also contribute to your yearly goal, right? So for example, if you have $5,000, in this budget, you get to choose to spend $5,000 for this month, however you decide, right? And hopefully you'll be able to cover your expenses, cover your tithing, put a little bit up in savings, and then put a little bit away for your financial goal. So you should be able to pay your rent, pay your mortgage, pay your utilities, pay your tithes to your church, and then put $500 away, or put $500 on your Sallie Mae student loan, right? That is the whole point of a monthly budget. If you are not using a monthly budget, you are behind the times. If you think you can just arbitrarily be successful at money management without a financial plan, you are so off base. Millionaires still use monthly budgets. That's how they got to where they were. They manage their money. You have to manage your money properly, otherwise your money is going to be managing you. So that's number 2. Number 3. Track your expenses using a monthly expense tracker for the first couple of months, so you can start identifying what areas you struggle with in your spending. So in this financial planner, every month you have a monthly expense tracker. Okay, somebody's knocking at the door. One moment. Oh, I think that's UPS. They're gonna go away. You have a monthly expense tracker to where you have the date, category, purchase description, amount, credit, cash, or debit that you use, and whether it's a need versus a want. This is key to kind of get to know yourself and how you're spending. again, like I was saying before, oftentimes we get so caught up in the thick of things of life that we don't even realize that we go to Starbucks and buy coffee as much as we do. We don't even realize that we eat as much fast food as we do. We don't realize how much we spend at the vending machine when we're on break at work, or when we're at work, you know, at our desk. So using a monthly expense tracker for about 3 to 4 months will really help you identify the areas in which you struggle with refraining from overspending. Because again, to attain a financial goal, you're gonna have to get your overspending and your impulsive spending and your negative spending habits under control. Because it ain't gonna work. It's like digging a hole at both ends, right? Like you're trying to get out the hole, but you're digging yourself further. It makes no sense. So use a monthly expense tracker so you can identify areas in which you need to cut back, areas in which you need to say to yourself, dang, every Saturday I go to Macy's at 10 a.m. when they open. It's like clockwork. Every Saturday I'm up in Macy's buying something with my credit card. So then that means you like, oh my goodness, that means I associate Saturdays with shopping with a credit card. In other words, I need to find a habit to replace that habit of going somewhere on Saturday mornings. Instead of going to Macy's, can I go to Barnes & Noble's and work on my business and work on creating more income into my business? So instead of shopping, can I start increasing my income instead of wasting my income? And you see, those little changes is what makes you literally transform your finances. It's those little things right there. Number 4, check in with yourself and your progress to your financial goals at the most 3 months and every 3 months. But I mean, at the least every 3 months. You should be doing it a lot. I do it every month. Even now, even though I'm financially free, even though I'm doing great in my business and my personal finances, I'm a full-time entrepreneur, I pay myself great, I still check in. I still have financial goals. I still have goals where I gotta say, oh, you know, I'm getting off track. Let me recourse connect. Let me check in. Let me see what's going on in this area. Why am I spending like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, I still check in. So you need to check in with yourself every 3 months at the least. Right? In the financial planner, I have a check-in every 3 months, right? So if you purchased this planner today and you started in October, November, December, January, you'll have your first check-in and it'll say goal check. And you're gonna ask yourself, what sub-goals did I accomplish over the next 3 months? So remember, we're still going back on that sub goal that you set. So if it's a $10,000 debt repayment goal, how many sub goals have you been accomplishing? Have you been putting $834 towards your student loans? What about if it's the savings goal? Have you been saving $417 a month each month up until now? Have you not? What's going on? What's stopping you? Is it that you weren't able to cut out enough expenses? Is it that you weren't able to make enough money that you thought you would in your business and generate more income into your household to where you're not able to put as much on there as you thought? What's going on? What financial challenges did I experience in the last 3 months? What should my next specific action to achieve other sub goals be? These are all great questions you should be asking yourself often so you can stay the course to paying off that $15,000 student loan or that $10,000 student loan or saving that $5,000 in your savings, in your personal savings. These are key. And then also, start writing some money affirmations. Affirm yourself. I am great at saving money. I am a good financial steward. I am a giver and a receiver. I am able to attain the lifestyle that I desire. I am able to make more money, increase my income. I am the designer of my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, create these power statements to when you feel like, oh man, I can't do this. I'm not going to be able to achieve my financial goals. I'm not going to be able to live the lifestyle that I desire. I'm just going to be stuck. You can pull out these statements and say, you know what? That's a lie. That's a lie. I know who I am, and this is who I am. Number 5, practice contentment and gratefulness. What contentment is the state of being happy and satisfied where you are and at ease. And what gratefulness is the state of being thankful for what you currently have. You have to balance your mindset and your spirit between wanting more and striving for more and being thankful and content with what you have. It's a very slippery slope, but you have to find that balance, because you don't want to be over here to where you're so into this hustle mode and grinding that you don't even realize what's in front of you, and before you know it, 3 years, 5 years have passed, and all you did was grind like a hamster on a wheel to where you couldn't even enjoy your life, your friends, your family. Everybody has fallen by the wayside because you neglected the things that you love, all in the name of hustling to make more money to achieve financial goals. You don't want to be like that. But then on the other hand, you don't want to be so content that you're borderline impoverished, that you're borderline robbing Peter to pay Paul, not creating the lifestyle you desire, in the passenger seat instead of the driver's seat. You're not spiritually aligned with who you are, with your greatness. You know, you're failing at financial goals left and right. You're extremely passive. You don't want to be there either. You want to be right in the middle of saying, I am thankful for what I have. Thank you, God, for what I have. Thank you for everything that I've had. I am content with where I am, but I know I was created for more. I know I have more in me. I know I can get more. And so therefore I will. You see what I'm saying? You see how that's different than being on one side or the other? Is right there in the middle. So what is your next step? I'm glad you asked. Thank you for asking. Your next step is to purchase the Ultimate Financial Planner so you can start doing everything that I talked about in this, in this module for yourself. Using the financial planner, literally it walks you through everything we talked about on this this call tonight. It begins with you setting your short-term and long-term financial goal. Like we said in the beginning, that's key. Again, if you don't take anything else, even if you don't buy this planner, when you get off of this video, when you're done watching me today, whatever time of day you're watching me, you need to create your short-term financial goal. And it's personal. It's not business. It's not about anything else. It's personal. What is my desire? What do I desire to accomplish? What do I desire to see in my finances in the next 6 months? And you need to write it here. And then you need to write 3 actionable sub-goals. And then I want you to write, why is this important to me? And you need to write that out, because your why is very key. And like we always say, with business, with anything else, what is your why? Identifying your why keeps you connected to that financial goal. And then you're going to do the same, your long-term financial goal. And then you're going to do 3 actionable sub-goals. And then you're going to do, what is your why? If you are in debt, if one of your short-term or long-term financial goals is to pay off debt, here's a debt repayment plan right here with instructions on how to pay off debt. This is a debt repayment plan that I use to pay off over $70,000 in debt in less than 2 years. Yeah, it works. Then you're going to start on your first month. So if your first month is this month, next month, you're going to write your month up here. And then you're going to write in your calendar numbers, and then you're going to put all the due dates in of when your expenses are due. Like, so when you need to go grocery shopping, when your light bill is due, when your grocery bill is due, any type of money that you're going to spend, because an expense is anything that's taking away from your income. So tithing is an expense, saving and putting money in your savings account is an expense, paying your mortgage or your rent is an expense. All of it is an expense. You need to track what you're going to do when, right? If you're going to save every Friday, transfer money into savings every Friday, it needs to be on your list. If you're going to tithe every 1st and 15th, your tithes for the month, it needs to be on here, on your calendar. Plan it out. Just like you plan out your dates for your business, your launches, your content, when you're going to put out content, you need to create when you're going to pay